Hi, I'm Zoe and I'm the volunteer officer for Morecambe. I recruit volunteers for different public service roles, and here today is my volunteer Allison, who is a Befriending volunteer, but she's also known as the community support volunteer role. So just to go back to the application stage really, because I know when we've reviewed your volunteer placement, you've spoke about the matching process, how you felt that was essential, and I just wondered if you could, explain that, why you felt that it was.
I think when you go into this, you're quite apprehensive. You're massively apprehensive about who you could be placed with, and a lot of judgment is placed on yourself to actually look up the people that require it, because you could be spending the whole week going around everybody on your list. They'd be lovely, but I've still got the day job.
You have to choose one,
You're just going to choose the one. So when you look at how much details behind that particular placement, you're looking for the detail of things that you've got as interests, like I adore music, I know my actual client loves music. So you're looking for commonality all the way through with it. And to get probably I think I've got about a 90% match between me and this lady. And that's what sparks all the conversations off we have. So the actual placing of that client is massively important. So when you go in, your first day may be a little bit, I don't know what to do. But then afterwards you start understanding that what they want to talk about, if they want to start the conversation, or whether you've actually got to lead the conversation knowing that they're into music, gardening, cooking, in my case Irish dancing, which I'm learning a lot about at the minute, and then you can do your research so that you're not actually talking from a place of no knowledge. So
brilliant. So you can look up, if they mention anything else, then you can get them to expand on it later.
And that's what I've done.
So what made you think about volunteering for I suppose a different level of need, really?
I think it's just we've got a lot to learn from them. And I think the best thing of actually doing is talking to them. It doesn't matter whether they're with you in the room when they're actually talking to you, but I've found with this particular lady, if you actually get her interested into something, whether it's music, dance, cooking, you will then enable her to then think about something she did in her past. And the whole trick I have found is to get her engaged, is to talking to something that she's actually interested in. I went to Italy recently, and I made sure I went to see the Pope's service on Sunday, and I took her a photograph of the Pope giving his sermon with a little video so she could see it when I got back. But whilst I was in Vatican City, I got a postcard for her, wrote a postcode out, posted it from Vatican City. That came back to her, and I have been told by her husband that every day she sits there and counts up every single window in that building. And it's just little tiny things that make a massive difference to him. It doesn't have to be huge. It could just be something that you sparks a memory or another feeling.
Because that lady has suspected dementia, hasn't she? And so it's all about, I suppose, the aims of the placement, keeping her mind active through the range of, I suppose, interests that you described there. And it's things that make people happy, isn't it? So you'll leave her with a smile on her face,
That's the best gift she can give me back, is to actually smile and laugh with me. And engage. And she does. She actually does. Sometimes she's really tired and she'll fall to sleep halfway through, but you know that we've worked her brain a bit more than we probably should have done. We've had too much laughter, but she has got a wicked sense of humour if you can get her switched on that day. So
Well, what I know about people with dementia, where volunteers like yourself support these people, that leaving that smile on their face has a ripple effect, because on their unpaid carer, it's how they then go on with that feeling, because it's a lasting effect, isn't it, for the day. So actually it'll help the carer, with the loved one, to be able to manage their day.
And it does make a difference, talking to her husband on a regular basis as we do. We've only, in the last, I've been going since September to see them. She's only had one down week so far. And most of it has been quite stable with her actual being able to deal with things. We know she's on a down day, but to have a full week, it's a bit unusual for her, but now we seem to be getting on an even keel again with her.
So she's making progress
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
That's good. Normally we set placements for at least 6 months, so you can meet these little goals along the way, which is just like the stimulation. And also this lady has an unpaid carer, so it's also giving him a well-deserved break at the same time. But we just review it as it goes along, and if it's still needed, then it's up to yourself. If you've got capacity, we will allow.
I think with somebody with dementia, if they have too much chopping and changing, it does massively affect them. So I still love going, and she says you can come anytime, and I said if I could, I would. But it's just I can't spare it. Well, I spare as much time as I can for her.
So do you feel that you've gained something different from volunteering for us than what you expected?
I think it's sort of like you don't necessarily see with the other volunteering I did that you actually made a difference, but just little things that you could do that was a little bit extra. I'm a little bit of a cook and baker, and I know that this lady can't eat really strenuous food because of her palate and everything. So because of experience I've had with my own family that had dementia, a member of my family, I've got my cookbook back out again, and I do her food that is within her range, and I take up little food parcel. And they love it because unfortunately her husband can't cook very well. He's doing better, but so to get a little break where he gets a little pan of food or something, it just means that they are fed for that day or even the day after. And he's got a very sweet tooth and he doesn't know how to bake, so I'll take him up cakes. And it was mince pies at Christmas. So it's just giving a little tiny thing, little treats, because I can't take him to a coffee shop and have a cake and a coffee. And I think I said to you right at the beginning, I'd love to take them out, but with her mobility being the way it is, we can't. So we have a picnic indoors and coffee and cake indoors. So it's just even on the coronation, I took an afternoon tea up. And we did an afternoon tea watching the coronation with them, and that was just amazing because her face was just as if she was actually involved. So I did the crowns and I did all of this stuff for her, and she absolutely loved it. And evidently she slept for a good 10 hours afterwards because she was so stimulated with what we've done. So
I can imagine her husband was the same.
Oh, he was amazing. Yeah. He just thought it was brilliant.
So you touched on Christmas as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you helped him at Christmas?
So we went up Christmas Day because they don't get any visitors. The rule was that they had to wear a sparkly jumper. So we were all in sparkly jumpers, and I came with the hats, and we did them like a mini afternoon tea, I suppose it was, but Christmas themed. So we'd got the mince pies and the cake, and we took up, she quite likes her Baileys. So I did a little Baileys cocktail for her. We had that with the coffees and stuff, and it was just sort of like to bring Christmas into their home that was actually on the day instead of like 2 or 3 days later when the rest of her, say, his sister comes and visits, because none of the neighbours would be able to because they've got their own family there. And again, it was one of these ones really stimulating and kind of thing. And she was wearing her sparkly jumper as instructed. So, and she sat with her hat on all day so after we left. But we probably had, 2-3 hours with her. And she just absolutely loved it. Really, really loved it.
Because you told me that they had said it was the best Christmas they'd had. They'd never celebrated it that before.
No. We did the same for New Year. We went. I didn't go at midnight, obviously, because it was a bit too late for her, and probably me. And we did the same again.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just doing the landmarks. We did their wedding anniversary, which was their golden. So I did a little cake for her that she could eat, just so that she was part of the celebration.
Yeah. So this again will be helping her to remember the times, of the past on these occasions, and also to create new memories as well.
Yeah, she started actively talking about the day she got married now. So she's remembering the detail of the dress without actually having a photograph in front of her. She's told me all about who cooked it, who did all the cake. She's told me about who made the dress for her, and this was information right at the beginning she could not remember. But now we've started doing more and more stuff. We're getting little bits more back from her. Even in childhood, so.
Well done, Alison,
Love it.
You guys do all the hard work. You've done it amazingly with this lady and her husband. And I was saying it before, you know, I think we facilitate it, but it is you guys who makes the magic, I suppose, you know, and without you it wouldn't have been possible, and it would have been more probable that she would have escalated to higher services. Because her husband was struggling.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But he's now left me alone now with her. He doesn't feel that I need him there all the time. So he'll go and have some respite by doing a bit of gardening, because his gardening is absolutely amazing. Or he would go and nip to the shops, or things that he needs to do, so that the lady's actually being watched.
Yes.
And that's confidence in me then to do something for her.
And you're giving him peace of mind, which is definitely what he needs.
It's taken me a while, but we're getting there.
And in a short space of time, you've turned things round for them so much, you know. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I suppose, do you feel valued by Lancashire Volunteer Partnership? Have you? Yeah,
I've had lots of feedback. It's been good. Your email had me in tears. Thank you very much for that. You don't do volunteering for maybe the recognition that I got that during that email. You do it to make a difference to the person you're working with, if you will.
Yes.
And they say thank you every time, and they make a cup of tea as I walk through the door. It's sort of like a bit of a ritual now for them. They do miss me when I don't go. And when I was in Italy, and then unfortunately when I was after Italy, and she asks every day then, is she coming today? Is Allison coming today? So she's now remembering the days I'm supposed to be with her. So
brilliant, and she knows your name. That's a real progress.
So yes, I do feel valued, really valued.
Good, because we do truly value you, you know, and that's why I recognised why I wanted to put you forward for the Volunteer of the Year award with Lancaster CBS.
That was even worse. Thank you.
Because I know you guys don't come to our service for, like you said, the recognition, but we do want to say thank you in as many different ways as possible, and I definitely felt
we're in the shadows. That's how I sort of see myself. I'm in the shadow. I'm there.
Well, you're not going unnoticed at all. So thank you very much for everything that you're doing, Allison.
Oh, thank you.
It's nothing more. Thank you.
That's very kind. You'll have me up again.